Monday, the 4th of August 2025. This is day 63. Now it's very windy today. A lot of houses have no power. There's a lot of roads closed. There's also a lot of trees down. So I'm just got my hat on, my leggings on, my trail running trainers, and I'm just going to go out and do 3 or 4k. So it might not be a lot of scenery or a lot of talking, but my plan is to scale down a little bit this week, because hopefully on Saturday I'll be taking part in the Highland Games, and that will be the Nethy friendly games. All being well, the weather holds up, I'll be taking part in the 10-mile road race. So over the course of this week, you'll see me stretching more, try to get my legs a bit more happier. But today, it's exceptionally windy, really strong winds. Let's finish off this run, and I'll speak to you soon. Quite a lot of debris in the caravan park too. So day 63. It's a day when the weather tells you not to go out. And the weather would be right. But here I am, just running a couple of k, just making the effort, even when my body goes, I'm a bit tired today, Frank. And I was a bit tired today. I was speaking to a lady in my work today, and I was asking her what her plans was. You can sometimes tell who they are if they've got children, or if the man feels, the husband feels a bit distressed. How are you? What's your plans? She says, I'm off running. Oh, that's good. She says, I'm off running 25k. And I thought, well done. In this weather, to go out 25k, that's pretty fantastic. Maybe she's training for a marathon, maybe it's her day off, maybe there's some other plans. Or maybe she's running for 100 days and I just don't know about it. But no matter what you're doing today, on this very blustery Monday, I hope you're having a good day. Good afternoon and welcome to day 64. I'm just taking a little walk for a little second, just to say hello and update you on how the week is going so far. So this is day 2 of 5 of just quietly preparing for the 10-mile road race on Saturday, which takes place in Nethy Bridge as part of the Nethy Highland Games. So Monday to Friday, just little gentle runs, a bit more stretch from Frank, a bit more flexibility, increase the water, and you're good to go on Saturday. So over the next couple of days, just little updates on what I would normally do. I don't know if it's right or wrong, to prepare for a race weekend. Now, I'm not planning to do anything spectacular in the race. I never do, but I plan to make it to the end. Sometimes I get to races and I know that I'm not quite ready. This one I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy, and the weather's nice. So yesterday's video was a little bit short, a little bit brief. It'll be carried over 5 days, and there's 2 reasons for that. Number one, I'm dropping down the kilometres just to prepare for Saturday. And number two, there was a storm coming. So I think it was called Storm Floris in the Cairngorms yesterday. They hit 124 miles an hour winds. So that's about 15 miles from where I live. And that's pretty devastating if you've planned to come to the Cairngorms or surrounding areas. If you're planning on camping, doing some running, some walking. And in times like that, you always make sure that somebody knows where you are. So yesterday was just a quick nipping out, looking at the damage. There was some fallen branches, but on the news things looked a lot worse. There was lorries had fallen over, camper vans had fallen over, a lot of roads were closed, and I think there was 30,000 people without power. So though it didn't really affect me that much, it greatly affected the outer community and certainly nationally. So short video, just running through the storm. So I'm going to do a little bit more running again. Yesterday was raining, a lot of strong winds. Today it's a bit blustery. The rain is on and off. So over the course of the week, I'll pop in and say hello. Probably doing some mad stretches. And I'll see you in a little bit. So on day 64, I ran along the caravan park. And I turned to my right, cut through a little hole in the fence, and it takes me out the top of a hill. And I run down to the caravan park. But the hill's quite steep, quite rocky and quite gravelly. So thankfully I managed to go over my right ankle. So I give it a good twist, hobbled a little bit, and then realised I hadn't recorded it, thankfully. So, time to go home. As you can tell, a lot of very dark clouds and bad hair. I'm going to get my legs up the wall. I'll see you tomorrow. Got to love a pool table, especially in the caravan park. So let me take you back to yesterday. This is where I twisted my ankle. My right ankle, coming ran down this hill onto the caravan park. I must have stood on a rock. The rock's moved. My right ankle just twisted really badly. It's a bit better today. I'm still hobbling. So if you see me moving really slow, for once I've actually got a sore ankle. Hello, welcome to Wednesday, day 65. This is the day after I ran down this hill. They went over my right ankle. Still pretty sore, I'm not going to lie. Am I taking part in the Nethy Highland Games on Saturday? Got 3 days to go. I hope so. So welcome to Wednesday, the 6th of July, 2025. This is day 65, yeah. I'm really good at maths. So yesterday, running along the railway track, cutting down a little hill onto caravan park. Didn't record it. Went over my right ankle. Must have landed on a stone. Try and think of some excuse that doesn't involve blaming me for not looking where I was going. So today, just a little gentle 2 or 3k, just to see how it feels. Will I be ready for the 10-mile Nethy Highland Games road race on Saturday? Well, I hope so. So, lots of just twisting an ankle and make sure it's okay. So I said to myself, Frank, it's Wednesday. You've got a rather dodgy right ankle. Stay on good paths. And today I've completely ignored my own advice. I'm now on a railway track with really bad stones. But at least I'm not running the road. You know, falling over roads and landing my knees roads, so hopefully be okay for Saturday. Fingers crossed. Let's hope so. But I've done the Nethy Highland Games 10-mile road race 3 times now. First time was in 2017, then it was 2019, then a couple of years later, last year in 2024. The times have always been pretty similar, round about 1 hour 10. And I actually think last year was probably my fastest year. Because it's a 10-mile road race, normally I run in kilometres, so I don't know how fast or what an average mile is. So then work out it's about 16 kilometres, and what would my average be? So I think the 3 times I've took part, it's been about between 4:20 a kilometre to 4:30, which I'm delighted with. I don't think I'm anywhere near that this year, and I'm okay with that. But there's always something funny about taking part in a race, isn't it? That you think, could I do okay here? Am I just waiting to run so that when the competition starts, off I go? You know, sadly, I made a mistake once doing the Aviemore half marathon. From mile 1 to mile 10. There's me confident, quietly overtaking people as another person. as another person. And quietly just running by somebody. And I was doing super good. And I was really happy with myself. Until I got to about mile 10. 3 miles to go. And all the people that I'd passed from mile 1 to mile 10 all overtook me and bye, and off they went. So pacing's quite important, but also learning to hold yourself back is quite important. Sometimes I start off really quickly and thinking, this pace that I'm doing will carry me on to the end. Most times it doesn't. So I'm looking forward to Saturday. Couple of days now, a bit more stretching, just looking after my right ankle. Just see how that goes. Last year was a tricky one for me. It's a 2:30 start on the 10-mile road race. And I was working after it. So I think I parked my car, ran the 10 miles, got in my car, drove to work, and then just carried on with my day. So that was a good fun mental challenge. This year, very kindly, I've been given a day off. So let's carry on running a little bit more. I'm not running too far today. Right ankle still playing up a little bit. We've still got the effects of the storm that's passed us over the last 48 hours. There's not a lot of damage on the railway track, but I think there's been a lot of damage in other places. Trees down, people without power. So let's hope there's better days ahead. Welcome to Thursday, and welcome to day 66. Never followed this path before. I think it takes us down to Randolph Leap, just down this way. The Dava Way. The story of the Dava Way. The Dava Way is 24 miles long. There's a photo of the old Dava station in 1960s. Discovering the Dava Way. Supporting the Dava Way. And if you go north 4 miles, there's a summit point of 1052. Going south to Grantown 3 miles. Also a photo of one of the last trains. And finally, all about maintaining the Dava Way. So 24 miles long. After the final closure in 1968. It's now a safe walking route, running or cycling. And if you follow this path, it would take you all the way to Floris. So this week we've had Storm Floris, Frank twisting his ankle, Frank recovering from twisting his ankle. So I told myself, stay away from dangerous paths. Also forgot one extra bonus. Stay away, Frank, from steep drops. And this is waypoint 17 along the Dava Way. This is Huntley's Cave. On a random Thursday, lots of climbing gear. So the last time I was here, I said to myself, nope, 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 and promptly turned back. Do I feel the same? With the sheer drops on one side and the waterfall. Should I go any further? Nope, 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 nope. So I've managed to, on Tuesday, twist my ankle. Wednesday, recover from twisting my ankle. So I made a conscious decision to stay on paths. That hasn't worked. Branches everywhere. I also said to myself, stay away from vertical drops, Frank, sheer cliffs and waterfalls. Nope. Why don't I even listen to myself? I'm going to go this way. Hope you have a good Thursday. That was quite scary. So this week, it's just been about quietly preparing for the Highland Games on Saturday. And all I wish for everyone is that the weather's nice and everyone enjoys themselves. Now I think it was on day 42 where I was running in the boat of Garton. It was the very first shot of me just running by the primary school. A gust of wind took my phone and it fell on the floor. Big crack, didn't load the phone. Couldn't see text very well. So I thought, first chance, can I try and get it fixed? And when I say try and get it fixed, I don't think I could really afford to go to the Apple shop, and I wasn't too sure much it would cost. So I went to one of those shops that fixes phones and asked the gentleman, crack on my screen, can you fix it and how much? So he said yes, £80. So I was delighted with £80, very happy with that. It would bring back my iPhone back to life. So I popped back about half an hour later. iPhone looks pretty much brand new. Thumbs up, really happy. I could see the text again, so life was good. But over the last couple of days, I've noticed that there's been a few little issues with it. Most noticeably, the brightness on the screen is just not as good as it should be. So it almost looks to me that the iPhone has switched itself off. It looks quite dark. So I may actually have to invest in a new iPhone. I know they're a lot of money, but maybe something I'll need to do. And it happens so easily, just dropping your phone. We've all done it. Dropped it out of cars, dropped it down the toilet. Even grandchildren going to school, dropping it on buses. So they're very expensive, but you can drop them very easily. It's hard to imagine that this was once a railway. I didn't even realise that it was a station along the Dava Way. Blindly I thought it was Granton West, then all the way to Forest. But no, I've just looked. Train station Dava Way. So that's really interesting. Such a shame that lots of places in the UK were cut off. Little towns, parts of cities, seaside resorts. And I think that was a bit of a shame really, wasn't it? But we're on day 66. I've even got my Dunder Mifflin shirt on. Have you watched The American Office? What do you think of it? I think it's fabulous. I think it's actually better than the UK version. It certainly lasted 5 more series. I don't know if series is the actual word or is it series? Not sure. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday. I'm going to start running now. I'll see you in a little bit. Day 66, running for 100 days, is done. Highland Games on Saturday. I might tomorrow run round Nethy a little bit and just see how they're preparing for Saturday. If they've got any tents up yet, if anything's been done. Always like that part of seeing behind the stage before it's all set and everyone appears on Saturday. How long does it take? 3-4 days? I bet it's quite a rush at the end just to get things organised and to make it look like it was quite effortless. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a lovely Thursday, everyone. And Friday, it's on its way. Abernethy, Highland Games, disabled parking. And Abernethy, Highland Games, car park. So in 24 hours time, this is where I'm going to park my car and take part in the Abernethy Highland Games. So this is 24 hours just before the Abernethy Highland Games begin. This time tomorrow, it'll look a lot different. So we're here the day before the Nethy Highland Games. So it's Friday afternoon, around about 3 p.m. and this is day 67. So tomorrow I'm taking part in the 10-mile road race in the Nethy Highland Games. This will be my 4th time taking part 2017, 2019, 2024. But I thought I'd just appear 24 hours before, just have a look about, to see what's happening. I've got a tent up, I've got some chairs over here. I'm assuming that'll be judges' chairs. Let's go have a quick run around, then we can compare it to tomorrow, how busy it is. It'll be wonderful to see. I think the weather's going to be the same as tomorrow, probably 15-16 degrees. Little chance of rain, but hopefully not too much. I'm just going to go running this way, run by the tent, and we'll come back tomorrow. Nethy Highland Games in Nethy Bridge, second Saturday in August. Off to me and you tomorrow. So this is where we start tomorrow, in this field, around about 2:30 in the afternoon. Always forget that you do 2 laps of the track. 1 lap, then a second lap, and then you leave just here. You follow this path, and then you turn to the right, and you just follow the Floris trail. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Weather's hopefully similar as today. A little chance of rain, a big chance of fun. Just going to go this way. Don't want to run too far today. Not be running 10 miles tomorrow. Just a little stretch my legs, just to see how I'm feeling, and more importantly, see how my right ankle's feeling. That's really beautiful. I'm just running back to the start line. Just a little stretch of my legs. Probably only be 3k. But I saw this. Church of Scotland, Parish of Abernethy. It's actually quite beautiful. It looks really lovely. Just tucked away. Parish of Abernethy. The Abernethy Highland Games was started in the 1830s, which makes it, some people say, 190 to 195 years old. So for the Highland Games, buses depart from here 13:35 and 15:50, and will take you back to Broomhill Station 13:51 and 16:06. There's also a minibus drop-off point. Seem to be well organised. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Always get that nervous excitement before any race. A little bit of confidence to think I'm going to be okay. Then a little bit of confidence to think you always start too fast. Try and pace it. Then I think to myself, maybe I haven't trained enough. So you've always got those doubts. I suppose the best thing is just to enjoy it. I've looked at the last 3 times, 2017, 2019 and 2024. My average was about 4.5 minutes per kilometre. I don't think I'm anywhere near that. That little something in your head says, but maybe you've been holding it back for 6 or 7 days and you're ready to run. So I'll see how tomorrow goes. I'm going to try and record little bits of it. Never tried that before. That could just be me bobbing about in my head going, yeah, I'm okay. So hopefully I'm okay. I was also making a call today on my right ankle. Still hasn't been great, still a little bit tender to touch, but I think it should be okay. Also, I mentioned on day 22, if you can remember that far, that's when I was last in Nethy. And I mentioned Angus, and how Angus, same age as my dad, he's almost 88 years old, but very full of life, very determined. And I got about 100 yards to the finish line, very angry with me, told me to get my legs up and keep pushing, and I did. So Angus, thank you very much. He was also there in Aviemore at the end of the half marathon, and thankfully my dad got to meet him. I always felt that Angus was as close to my dad in Aviemore, my dad being in Glasgow. He'd also be very curious, sometimes quite angry, and I loved all those things. So let's enjoy tomorrow. It's exactly 24 hours until the race starts. Just a little bit of run around Nethy Bridge. It's quite windy. But this week has all been about Monday, Storm Floris, dressed in winter clothes and a hat. Tuesday, twisting my ankle. Wednesday, recovering from twisting my ankle. Thursday was a little run around Granton-on-Spey. And Friday, just checking out how it all looks for tomorrow, how the Highland Games is getting set up. A big tent set already, lots of vehicles unloading things. You begin to see burger vans arriving. Then we'll compare it with tomorrow. But if you're taking part in the Highland Games tomorrow, have a lovely day. If you're taking part in the 10-mile road race, be kind to an old man who overtakes you in the first 2 miles, and then you can pass by him in mile 9 and 9:10. But thanks for watching this week's. It's been a mishmash of things. Me stretching, try to be a bit more supple. But I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully about 2:30. 10-mile road race. Let's do it.